Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas Eve to all my ladies and gentlemen tuning in for this video. Now I know what you're sitting there saying. Yo, Matt, what are you doing in front of the camera? And that's a great question because as you can see on your screen right here, Matt, pop it up. We are about 500 subscribers away from reaching our goal that we set to hit 260,000 subscribers before Christmas, and we're cutting it really close. The message here is really simple. Number one, don't be a Grinch. Number two, I'm testing the power of you guys. Can we gain about 500 subscribers before Christmas? That was the goal we set, and just like anybody else, I want to achieve our goals. I mean, that's what life's about. Merry Christmas Eve to all of you once again. Hope you're enjoying the college football content, and also hope you're staying warm. All right, that's enough. Let's get into it. Well, what do you know? Your boy DJ Uiagalelei has finally left Clemson and he's found him a new home somewhere else. The place in school he decided to transfer to, I'm not going to say it's a strange one, but I didn't see this coming. I don't know if anybody saw this coming. And most people in general thought he was going to go to a different school. We're going to talk all about that. And also, we got to talk about your boy Matt Rhule, the new Nebraska head coach, and what he's got going on and what he's been saying. It's more so of we got to talk about Matt Rhule calling out, yes, that's right, you heard me correctly, calling out some of these other schools and head coaches. Look, I don't have time to waste. You don't have time to waste. It's Christmas Eve. It is about to be Christmas. All right, Matt, shut the crap up now. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, first things first, and I do apologize I'm late to this, but there's just been so much chaos going on in the college football world, as most of you know. 3 days ago, Matt Rhule, he tweeted out this. And for those of you that don't know, this was around signing day and he was throwing some little shade. He tweeted out a duck emoji, a money bag emoji, and then a ghost. And under that, a Hurricane U emoji, money bag, and another ghost. Now, most people didn't know really what to think about this because if you go to Matt Rhule's Twitter, all he does is tweet random emojis, or at least that's what he's been doing the past couple of days. But I myself, like others, I put two and two together. He was pretty much calling out Oregon and Miami for paying kids to not go to Nebraska and to go to their school. On the flip side, somebody tweeted out this. Oregon money ghosted, Miami's money ghosted. I think I see what he's saying. So basically, some people are trying to say that Miami and Oregon, they were promising these kids all this money, and then here we are, sign day comes up, and the money is not being paid out. Some people think he's referring to that. I more so am thinking of this as, okay, he's talking out and calling out Miami and who is it? Oh yeah, Oregon for paying these guys that he wanted. It is what it is. I don't really have too much to say about it because this is the new college football. Welcome. This is what it's come to. We've covered in the past week or two now like 5, 6, 7 head coaches calling it out. At this point, like many of you, I can't even get worked up over it because I'm used to it. I do want to bring that up and share it though because I meant to talk about it a few days ago. I just forgot. But now finally, moving on to the main topic of the main encore, the main reason you clicked into this video, we gotta talk about Mr. Uiagalelei, aka Uiagalelei. Do you see this right here? This was DJ Uiagalelei's ranking coming out of high school. Not 1, not 2, not a 3, not a 4, but he was a 5-star recruit. He was regarded as the #1 pro quarterback in his entire class and the number 10 overall national player. Yeah, that's impressive. This dude had all the hype in the world, but for some odd reason, I never bought into it, and it turned out I was right. Y'all know how I feel about Uiagalelei. I don't have to go over it. It didn't work out at Clemson. Whatever you want to put the blame on, you can put it on him, the coordinator, whoever, Dabo Swinney. It didn't work out. We got to move on to another chapter. I will give DJ credit because he's smart enough to understand when it's not working out, he's going to leave, and that's what he did. So credit to him for finally realizing that. I do got to say this, though. I still feel so bad for Clemson fans. If Dabo Swinney had any common sense, he would have started Cade Klubnik from day one, or not day one, but at least week 4, week 5, and you'd be undefeated. It sucks to sucks. I mean, just take a look at DJ's numbers and stats while he was at Clemson. He only played in 2 full seasons. In 2021, completed a miserable 56% of his passes, 2,200 yards, 9 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. 2021 was bad, but 2022 wasn't too much better. 62% completion percentage, 2,500 yards, 22 touchdowns to 7 INTs. You look at that and you go, well, dang, he improved a lot from 2021. And not really. It only looks that way because he does perform against the cupcake teams and the average teams, but whenever it's time to show up and show out against the big teams, he's nowhere to be found. And when I say nowhere to be found, that's putting it nicely. He wets the bed. I mean, to say this guy underperformed and was bad in the games they needed him the most, that'd be an understatement. He's not a good quarterback. What have I preached to you guys? What have I said since day one? He's an average quarterback. I don't think he's a bad quarterback, and being average is a-okay, but just not at Clemson. The standards are different at certain schools. You can't be average at Ohio State. You can't be average at Michigan. You can't be average at Georgia, Alabama, or Clemson. There's some more schools I could throw in there, but you get the point. I forgot about this. We already talked about it so much, but I gotta bring it up again. That game against South Carolina, that was single-handedly the worst performance I've seen out of quarterback in a long time. Not just this year, but a long time. It was bad. And I mean bad. And y'all know how I am. I don't prioritize numbers. However, I do bring them up because it gives you a great perspective. It's not everything. For example, you could see a quarterback have 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions and go, dang, well, they played bad. They cost the team the game. In reality, those 2 interceptions, it could have been dropped or tipped passes by their own wide receivers. In this situation, though, the box score, it gives you a great idea of how piss poor he was. 8 for 29. Yeah, that's right. 8 for 29. That's about a, what is it, like 23 completion percentage. Under 100 yards, 99 yards, 1 TD, 1 INT, QBR. I don't even know how it's this high, but 27.3. It should more be like a 7.3. I respect DJ as a person. I'm wishing him the best of luck, but this guy sucked. Let's just call it what it is. He sucked. And not too long after that, in the, what was it? Oh yeah, the North Carolina game in the ACC championship, he got benched. I mean, literally, I believe the first pass of the North Carolina game, he threw a ball into the dirt. He wasn't good. You get the point. Sorry for rambling on that. He enters the transfer portal, and here we are today. The one common denominator that we already knew, and I've said this for the past couple of weeks, we know he's going back out west because that's where his family's at, and that's where his brother was more likely going to play his college football at. A lot of people, including myself, thought there was a decent chance that him and his brother would team up. For those of you that don't know, his brother's a 5-star recruit, and he committed and signed with Oregon. So with his brother going to Oregon, that really threw everything out the window for them teaming up because, as most of you know, if you don't know, Bo Nix, quarterback for Oregon currently, he announced he's coming back next year. So with there being no reason for DJ to go to Oregon because obviously he wants to play right away, everybody's like, okay, what's next? The original beat and the original headline everybody was talking about is he's going to go to Hawaii. I even saw some people posting about it on Instagram like, oh, it's 100% confirmed he's going. Because if he goes to Hawaii, that is a terrible football team, terrible program. He's going to start right away. There's going to be no competition. And as a guy who wants to possibly one day get to the NFL, that's step number 1. You got to be the starter. But, and I have a big but, we had a change of events. Out of nowhere yesterday, he made it official and announced he's going to Oregon State. Once again, let me repeat that. Not Oregon, but Oregon State. So him and his brother are going to play in one of the most heated rivalries of all time. The Oregon and Oregon State Civil War matchup doesn't get as much attention as Ohio State and Michigan and the Iron Bowl with Alabama and Auburn. But it's a pretty dang good bowl. Or my bad, it's not a bowl, but it's the rival game. You get what I'm trying to say. I just thought that was funny because now you're going to have 2 brothers playing against each other for teams that hate each other. Or at least they're supposed to hate each other. Here is the thing about Mr. DJ Uiagalelei that is really intriguing to say the least. Do I believe that Uiagalelei has the potential to be a great quarterback? Yes. And if you watch my videos and you've heard how I speak about him, you're probably shocked I even said that, but it's true. The thing with DJ is he has the potential. Now, you got to understand something. Keyword potential, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Potential means, okay, what is the highest reach of your talent level? The reason I say he could possibly be great and reach his full potential is because we saw it early on at Clemson when he filled in for Trevor Lawrence. Y'all remember that game against Notre Dame where he had like 450 passing yards? As to what happened in that first season going into his next second and third season, I have no idea. I am going to assume it was a confidence issue. I feel like at Clemson, after he had a couple of bad games, he can never regain his confidence, and also he felt all the pressure. And this is why I say it's interesting. Now he's going to Oregon State. Yeah, there's going to be some pressure, but nothing compared to Clemson. Being the quarterback at Clemson compared to being the quarterback at Oregon State, not even comparable, not on the same scale. This should put things into perspective. At Oregon State, if you win 9 games a year, that's an awesome season and the fans are happy. At Clemson, if you win 9 games in a season and this current team and program, that's terrible. Considering Clemson is in one of, if not the new worst conference in the entire world. The ACC is flat out pitiful. It's a cupcake conference, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Also, another reason as to why I have some belief in DJ is because it's a new start. And we all know this. This isn't just about football. This is about life. Having a new start, it can be everything. He's going to a new place where nobody's criticizing him 24/7, and he's going to get a breath of fresh air. I'm happy for him because if he had stayed at Clemson another season, I don't even know how he would have dealt with it on the stress and anxiety levels. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I like this move. Not because I think him and Oregon State's a perfect fit or a perfect match. Just going anywhere outside of Clemson is a good thing. He just needs a fresh start, and I cannot emphasize that enough. I'm not even going to try to predict how I think he's going to do next year because that's way too far ahead. I'll leave it at this, and I think this is a great way to end up this video. I think he can be good, but he's going to have to prove it to me. He's got to prove it to me because right now, he's not a good quarterback in my mind. He's an average quarterback, but remember, that's not terrible. There's many more things I could say, but I'm going to leave it at that. Once again, Merry Christmas Eve to all of you, and thank you for the continuous support. It means a lot. Hope you have a great Christmas, and yeah, road to 1 million.